stepping out, and rocking motion. I always build this sense of how your body is moving by starting with the particular. So where are the places my feet actually know the contact? Where are those movements in my abdomen, lower back, pelvis? How do my hands know that I've got contact? And out of that, you'll build the sense of your whole being. And so eventually you can just kind of drop into the whole kind of sense of yourself. Moving energy will come through this one more time. But you can just keep on cycling back to that individual. Here we come. Cross onto the right foot, up and in. And now bird flaps its wings. Heels slightly lift. And then just slowly coming in as if you're building the pressure of that. And then around. Once, twice, and in. And around. Last time, sink, heels up slightly. Really good, and around. And in, above the belt, and down. Okay. Our first platter. Sinking into the right, left hand out, and forward over top of the front leg. And as you go around, I'm just going to show you pieces of this. So see if you can, if your body is able to get the level of my hands. So typically my hands are going to be coming out at about level to the place where they started from. We'll come around one more time. But if your arms or shoulders don't allow that lifting that much, then go to the height you're capable of. And then the right. And over top of the front foot. Through the heels of your hands as you go forward. Feeling the yinning and yanging, the weight transfer across the soles of your feet. Back heel up. And as that back heel comes up, it's really kind of being pulled up by the straightening of the back of your knee. So it's kind of more of a passive thing rather than a lifting thing. We'll do two more. And around. And back. Now some platter variation. And gather that ball. Release it. And just start to look for the places where you start to engage with the growing edges in your body. Okay, slowly work up little crunchinesses, little achynesses, and just let the movement gently engage with it. It's like a massaging of it. We'll come around one more time. Back and forward, gather, release, and step back. And the second side. Forward and release. Gather and release. We'll come around one more time. And back. Okay, and then the bass drum. So as your hands come up and you step forward, and I'm just going to stop just briefly for a moment, just to get the sense of when you step forward, another way of getting a sense of, am I stepping forward too much, is just to really slightly engage with your heel. And if it even, as you flatten your lower back, if it drags in even just a little bit, well then you know that you're just really adjusting to where your body is comfortable with it. And here we go forward. Now, because you have flat hands, it takes a little bit more focus to find that engagement with the charge between your hands, but it's a really good place to start to get that a little bit more. Fingers to the floor, fingers to the ceilings. Really start to catch those two places where fixation can happen. This one in your wrists, and then of course the constant working back and forth in your lower back. Just helping it to open up. We'll come around one more time. And back. Okay. And then the second side. Yeah, looking good. And this will be number 8. One more time around. And back. Good. And now we come into the daughter. So first of all, the daughter in the mountaintop. And left hand on the inside. It's a comfortable distance from your body, not too far away, not too close as they cross. And then, very important for this one as well, find the gathering of the charge. Drawing across the midline, drawing down and releasing it, and already you're gathering it as you come back around. So that there's always a sense of engagement with your hands. one more time around. Back and forward. And back we go over top and resting. Okay. And then the second side. Left hand still on the inside. Drawing down. The palms stay fairly facing to the sides so they don't come close in towards your body as they draw down. As much as your wrists are able to allow for that. So always the movement is sort of a massaging your gentleness. But the intention is this, and then I'll show you what sometimes I see, which is as people come across, they close in like this. Go 2 more times. And last one. And release. And then daughter in the valley. Down and gather the charge, draw it up. So this is much more of an engagement through your hands right up from the center. Kind of much more of a flattened curve on this one. See if you can really get the feel of how that lifting happens through the center of your body as you come upward and forward. It really helps you get a sense that we're not leaning forward so much in this movement, but feeling the rising that happens as we come forward. We'll do 2 more. And 1 more time around. It's good. Yeah, and you're mostly getting, I'll just say this before I go into the second side, you're mostly getting what can happen in this one, which is that as you come forward, your arms can kind of come out from your side, so it's like still really like sitting close to your side as your arms come up and out, so you don't kind of draw out as your arms come out. Let's give that a try. And up. And down and collect. So just letting the movement work on you. And 2 more. And back. Now we're going to carry the ball to the side, so I'll come across just a little bit for you. So here we do our first sinking and winding up to that back shoulder, and 1. You might be getting far enough along now that it's worthwhile every once in a while checking with your feet to see whether you're stepping forward or back a bit. Here we come and finish. And of course this movement gives you lots of chances to look at that. And sinking again. So it's got that slight pause, very similar to the wrist circles taffy. In between each segment of the movement. And it also gives you a chance to really feel into the movement around your dantian, up and in. And sink. Backhand a little more substantial. And third time, I got myself a little close to my Denzi here, so I'll just step up just a slight bit. And sink. Looks fabulous. 3. You'll find that the more you get engagement, like for example, as your hands come like this, it really draws the rest of your body into it. And so the body movements around it become a little bit less performative and start to go with the flow of how the energy movement is happening. And that's the value of the different ways in which your hands are leading the movement in their different forms. And again, that they really give your body a chance to feel how it can participate and support this movement. And one last time. So this is a place for toe up, right? And then in and resting. Okay, and now we'll do back into our 2 forwards and backs, which is first of all push-pull. So I'm just going to the center a bit more. Go, hands up, foot forward. And just really let that soft turning at the end of your push give you a buffer so you're not drawing forward too much. And that the movement, as you come forward and back, is through the heels of your hands. So you really get the charge build up there. We'll leave the finger stuff more for the next one, for pulling in the energy. So the hand is fairly open. And 2 more. And that back hand, back foot hand, in this case the right hand is a little more substantial. And back. Good. And then the second side. Sink and rise with your hands. So now the right foot, right hand is a little more substantial as you go out. One more time. And back. And now we do pulling in the energy. So your hands come palms up, and your focus is going to be in your fingertips coming through the heavy air and then drawing in from the farthest start. And you can see that there's still a sense of connection between my hands. Of course, they're not touching, but there's a sense of almost them being like twinned together as a pair of horses in harness, so that they really get a connected experience. They're not floating separately from each other. And just drawing through the fingertips, feeling the engagement through the fingertips. Do 2 more. and around. And back. Okay. And second side. So out of all these little prompts that I give you, at a certain point, you may find that there are particular places of engagement in your body that just feel like they're a place to drop into. Just every once in a while, keep on checking in with those secondary support pieces to that, which is like the feet, and perhaps the engagement with your hands if that's not your focus, but really start to find where you feel the movement is moving from you. And just to let it organize you from there. To drop into yourself through those sensory, energetic windows in your body. I'm going to come around one more time. And back. Okay, now we're into the toffee, so I'm just going to step a little bit aside for this. And our first foundation toffee. And across. And close. Sinking and across. And close. Sinking. Nice. This is one of these places where that perpetual motion toffee's compactness of twist can be a real sort of lesson for how much we turn for these ones. And close. And anchor toffee, so now we really turn in a little bit more as we step forward. And across. And sideways. Turning this. And sideways. So there's so many good parts of this, like the twisting, the sinking, the coming forward, the anchoring of that back hand through the heel of your hand. And then of course, that sense that you sink of drawing that charge across the forearms. Let's try this just one more time. You'll also notice with the forward stepping that just like with the sideways stepping, if you step forward too far, it's harder for you to draw back. So here, stay compact, then sink. Maybe a better way is to say minimalist, because we're not compressing with that compactness. Just less is more. And rest. And here's wrist circles toffee. So as we start the turn, we sink and go down a little bit onto the balls of our feet, and then up, up, and stay sunk down on your full foot. Come across and close with just that slight rest and then sink again. Up wind up. Sink. Up. Up. And across. So those circle hands are almost like a waft of energy that's kind of bringing you up through the Danshan. Up. And then you stay down and wind up. And we'll do it one more time. Sink. Up. Up. Across. And sink. And across. And then finally our perpetual motion tafi. So as you wind up, this time you come across, foot comes up a little bit on the back, and just start to go back and forth 9 sets of times. Toe up a little bit, and then the heel follows after it. So this is one of those places where you could really slow it down and really help yourself get all the pieces of this. There's actually a form of Tai Chi Cha that Justin Stone used to experiment a little bit with and then got stopped by, he got a stroke and it kind of stopped a lot of the experimenting he was doing, but he would speed it all up and then see how his body integrated all of that. And we'll come back to a beginning place and close. And then finally our standing pose. Left hand on the inside. I noticed with the last video I sent out that I looked at the amount of time I took as I was describing this for you, and we actually stood for about 2 minutes on this, so we're well up into the realm of what is a useful practice for being able to sustain this and drop into it and really let it do its work on us as a position, which is great, which is of course building from your feet and up through your legs, pelvis, up through the back of your head so your chin drops a bit. And then with your attention down through those open fingers and your inner attention into the Danshan. And then just coming to a close. And going out. Where is that gratitude? May become one of the acceptable greetings all over the world now, between that bow and the namaste that we acknowledge without having to physically touch. And with that, thank you, all of you, so much. We do this as community. When you show up, and I show up, and we make changes in ourselves and in the world.